Live from downtown Bakersfield, 23 ABC News Midday starts now.
Good morning and thanks for watching 23 ABC News at 11. I'm Melissa Flores in for Mike Hart.
And I'm Danielle Kernkamp. We want to take you to a live look from a town hall meeting being held at Trona High School. It's being held to provide the latest information for local residents that were affected by the recent earthquakes. Let's listen in.
760-382-7575. That's the emergency number for Senior Care Center here in Trona. What they would like you to do on your mailbox with neighbors that can is either put a sign out that says help, put a sign that says water, or a sign that says food.
As you can see, we're having some video and quality difficulties, but we are going to be putting the latest from this press conference on our website, turnto23.com. You'll find a recap there.
This morning, the California Living Museum is facing animal cruelty allegations after the alleged deaths of 3 animals. This morning, PETA announced that it was calling on the Kern County Sheriff's Office to investigate the claims against COM and its operator, the Kern County Superintendent of Schools. PETA claims that 2 Fisher cats died after staff failed to treat them for severe flea infestations. It also claims a skunk starved to death while at COM. The Kern County Superintendent of Schools will hold a press conference this afternoon at 2 to respond to those allegations.
And this morning, Prentiss Foreman, the man convicted of a murder 40 years ago, was sentenced to 25 years to life. Last month, Foreman was found guilty of first-degree murder in the death of 18-year-old Don Coons in 1979. Foreman was not arrested until 2017. This morning, his defense attorney withdrew his motion for a mistrial. This morning, we heard from Foreman's sister about the sentence.
We ask and hope in the future that he can get an appeal and the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God, will all come out.
This morning, Foreman's attorney asked the judge to consider probation. Deputy District Attorney Gina Pearl argued that probation would be, quote, ridiculous. Pearl also pointed to Foreman's history of violence and that he had been convicted 15 times.
All right, we're going to head over to the Weather Center now. Check in with Chief Meteorologist Elena Rusk. Things are warming up outside already.
Oh, yeah.
But they're going to get warmer, right?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Yes. So it is 11 o'clock this morning, officially. And with that, we were enjoying the 70s much of the morning. And now into these sunny skies, we've just gotten to 80. So if you're taking your dog out for a walk, they're good right now. And for the next couple hours, it'll be okay. But heading into this afternoon, that pavement starts to get really hot on their paws. And we're heading into a heat wave that's going to be quite dangerous for your pets as well. More on that in a minute, but you can expect 86 as we head into the noon hour for lunchtime, warming up nicely to those low 90s at the park today for the kids. So also keep in mind that park equipment will be getting very hot, dangerously so on the slides. So make sure that your kids are protected in pans so that you're going first thing in the morning. This afternoon, 96. That's sunny, that's seasonal for the day. And then the heat wave begins tomorrow. I'll show you that in a minute. But if you're heading out to Friends, the musical parody tonight at the Fox Theater, you'll see it'll be low 90s at 7:30, falling to the mid 80s as you're heading back to your car.
Donations have been pouring in the days following the quakes, and students at Garces High School are joining in following a tidal wave of support.
23 ABC's Daniela Garrido has more on the effort from local students. Daniela?
Good morning. That's right. It's really been a community effort. All of these water cases that you see behind me are part of Garces High School's water drive. And well, we actually were able to catch up this morning with the grandma of the Garces football team student that inspired all of this.
So many people are working really hard to get our water situation taken care of, and our gas and electric, and Trona is a very unique town. It's full of unique people. It's just my heart's just proud because they just went all out for us, and the response that they've got up here at Garces is amazing. It's amazing.
Mary is has been a Trona resident for 56 years, and she hasn't been able to go back since the earthquake occurred because there is no water or electricity in her home. She is the grandma of the Garces football team player that inspired all of this. And while they've been able to get 200 cases of water and 300 jugs of water donated, the San Bernardino County is not sure when Trona will get their water back. So this definitely makes all the difference for them. If you want to do your part, you can still donate up to Friday. It's right across the football field of Garces High School, and it's going on until Friday. They'll be delivering those on Saturday. For now, we're live at Garces High School. Daniela Garrido, 23 ABC News, connecting you.
Congressman Kevin McCarthy is hoping to bring some relief to Ridgecrest following the quakes last week. He proposed an amendment that would authorize $100 million to fast-track relief and rebuilding efforts to military bases damaged by the seismic activity. That would include Naval Air Weapons Station China Lake, Edwards Air Force Base, and Fort Irwin. Currently, China Lake is non-mission capable, and non-essential personnel have been evacuated following the extensive damage caused by the quakes and the aftershocks.
KCSO is asking for the community's help in finding a shoplifting suspect that hit a local business in Oildale. The shoplifting occurred on July 3rd at about 10:15 a.m. and the suspect entered the Rite Aid at 100 China Grade Loop in Oildale. The suspect then selected several items of merchandise from the makeup aisle and fled the store without paying. KCSO says he then got on a bicycle and fled. If anyone has any information regarding the identity of this individual, you are urged to call KCSO at 661-322-4040.
It's time for the closing arguments in the case of a man who abducted and killed a nanny in Florida. Here's a preview.
Good afternoon, I'm Yori Tewalde. We're covering two trials for you today here at Court TV. First, a jury in Florida will now decide whether Scott Nelson will be sentenced to life or death. Attorneys for both sides gave closing arguments this morning in the trial of a man convicted of murdering nanny Jennifer Fulford. The jury is sequestered during deliberations. And in Georgia, prosecutors are presenting evidence against a man accused of beating an elderly nursing home resident to death. Landon Terrell is charged with the murder of 91-year-old Adam Bennett, who is a patient in the assisted living facility. Bennett's daughter was the state's first witness, and while she was on the stand, prosecutors played a voicemail that the victim left after he was allegedly beaten.
I'm dying. Hurry, hurry, hurry.
What does your dad say in that voicemail?
You see, I'm dying. Hurry, hurry, hurry.
That's the latest for now. Court TV will keep following all developments in both of the trials. Now back to you.
Still to come here on 23 ABC News at 11, celebrating our World Cup winners. A look from the ticker tape parade held for the U.S. women's national soccer team in New York. We'll be right back.
Now back to the town hall being held in Trona for those affected by the earthquakes last week. State Senator Shannon Grove and other officials are there providing up-to-date information to help local residents and answer any questions they might have.
23 ABC's Bayan Wing is at the meeting with more on how they're addressing residents' concerns. Bayan?
Yeah, guys, several Trona residents. It was a packed house here today as several were coming to see if they could get some answers for a couple of days without resources. I have a San Bernardino County supervisor with me now who addressed some of these residents, telling them that they have resources here. A lot of them were going to Ridgecrest at first. Can you tell me a little bit about what we're doing now to bring resources here?
Well, you know, we started on the first day, July 4th. We had personnel from my office on the ground, and we continued really nonstop. And we're going to continue to ensure that resources are delivered and the community is taken care of. We have health services, food, water. Searles Valley, the water company provider, is on their way to having that facility fixed, and it's gone on nonstop since the day of the quake, and we'll get it done.
You know, obviously the recovery process is a beast of its own, but for some of the Trona residents who are a little disgruntled, feeling that they weren't able to get resources, you know, in a timely manner, do you have a message for them?
Absolutely. It's never going to be fast enough. Anytime there's a crisis, you look at a crisis, the timing of receiving resources for those most in need, there never will be satisfactory from my standpoint. We just always strive to do everything we can.
And moving forward, what is the most important thing for this community right now?
They're a strong community. You got great families here. We stand in a gym with a lot of recognition for the success in sports. They're a backbone community of America. What we need to do is just continue to deliver our services, which we will.
I really appreciate it. Thanks
Thank
for your
you.
time. I also have Regina, a Trona resident here. Regina, can I have you just step in over here? You heard of several different resources coming to Trona.
Yes.
Can you first tell me just what some of the concerns were here at first?
Lack of communication was a big one. So listening to what everybody had to say when they were up there, they were telling us over and over again that we were working, but from what we saw, from what you guys saw, from the media, they didn't communicate that to us. We didn't know.
And moving forward, because they're trying to bring a lot of the resources here now, what are some hopes that you have for this community?
That we're actually going to be able to rebuild. I know we have a lot of structures, like they mentioned, our commercial structures are damaged. A good portion of the town is actually, historic. It's from the 1920s, 1930s. They've been here a long time. We'd hate to see those buildings go. The houses are one thing because they've been derelict for a long time, but like the mineral companies, stuff like that, we don't want to see those go. So hopefully the county comes up with a plan to help us rebuild, move forward in a positive direction, not just, leaving us to float in the wind.
Certainly. Well, I'm glad some of those resources are coming here now.
Me too.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And FEMA is going to be here on Friday. They're going to do a thorough assessment of some of the damage here, of course, to see exactly what level of funding they need. But we'll have all those updates for you on our website, turnin23.com. But for now, live in Trona, Bayon Wang, 23 ABC, connecting you.
It's a celebration fit for champions, a ticker tape parade for the U.S. women's national soccer team today in New York City. Thousands of screaming fans turned out to celebrate the World Cup winners.
ABC's Andrea Fujii has more from Manhattan.
Showered with adoration and confetti, the U.S. women's national soccer team made their way through the Canyon of Heroes in New York City, with thousands of fans screaming with excitement.
We love the women's national team and love what they're doing with the program.
We have those dreams.
Yeah, we have those dreams.
They had those dreams too, and they accomplished them, and now they're on the field winning world championships, and that can be us one day.
The team riding on floats through Battery Park to City Hall. It's their second ticker tape parade. The first was after their World Cup win in 2015. The team returned home from France on Monday with a hero's welcome for their fourth World Cup title. 16 million people tuned in to see them clinch Sunday's championship game over the Netherlands. With 26 goals in total, the U.S. team now holds the record for the most goals in a Women's World Cup. And the one that sealed it all? Scored by newcomer Rose Lavelle, one of the many fan favorites.
Favorite players, girls?
Lavelle. Megan Rapinoe.
Megan Rapinoe, the team's co-captain, says she hopes this victory will spark a movement toward equal pay for women's soccer.
Our women are being ripped off, let's be clear. They are performing at the highest level, winning championships, and this is unacceptable and it needs to change now.
And many young women agree.
They're bringing in more revenue to the program and they're not getting as much money for it.
No rest for this team. After the ceremony, they hop on a plane bound for LA for tonight's ESPY Awards. In New York, Andrea Fujii, ABC News.
Oh, looks like they were having a lot of fun out there. So here at home, we are up to 80 now in Bakersfield, Lamont, Buttonwillow, 81 in Taft, Maricopa, and Arvin, 70s down in the South Valley and up in the North County, along with all of our mountain locations at this hour. 88 in Mojave, 91 in Ridgecrest and China Lake now. So as we're all warming up together, you see how sunny and stable the county is. That fresh ocean air, all of the cloud cover, the moisture, everything being pushed up out of the way as a ridge of high pressure builds in from Texas. And so that's going to come in and park itself over the Four Corners region and then just sit here for the next several days, creating that very hot, dry bubble of stable air that is, as it's parked, going to create big effects on this system. This is a tropical depression trying to become a named storm. This would be Barry within the next 24 to 48 hours. But the hard thing about this is it can't move because that high pressure is blocking it. So as a result, we are very concerned about storm surge and the effects it will have along the coastlines for Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi. This could also create some very heavy rain, some severe weather, tornadoes, hail, the works. So even though it's not that big of a deal like a hurricane, it is going to cause some big issues as a hurricane would. Here at home, no hurricanes, no moisture, nothing but heat. We're back to stable and seasonal temperatures today. After a couple days of being below average, this 96 is right where we should be for this time of year in Bakersfield, 97 in Arvin and Lamont, mid-90s for the rest of the county in the north and down into Taft. You also have mid-90s in Kernville, 93 Isabella, 85 in Tehachapi and Lebec, 84 into Fraser Park. Does not look look nice. Cool spot is Pine Mountain Club at 79. Hot spot, our friends out in Ridgecrest, they're at 104. Later this afternoon, Cal City 101. All of the desert areas getting to the 100s tomorrow. And Bakersfield's going to try and hit that 100 as well as this high pressure continues to move in. Now watch out for the next several days how it just sits here parked, so it continues to swallow up Kern County in this heat and leave us with those rising temperatures. Futurecast showing us we are perfectly sunny and stable and therefore stagnant, so the air quality gets worse. It's moderate today, so we get to 100 tomorrow and then 103 on Friday. It climbs to the unhealthy for sensitive groups range. And then look at Saturday, 107. Sunday still hot at 104, and then 100s Monday and Tuesday. We'll try and fall to the 90s after that, but there is sunshine across the board. So for our friends in the mountains, 90s in the Kern River Valley the next couple days, 101 by Saturday. Tehachapi and Fraser Park 80s today and tomorrow, and then 90s heading into the weekend.
Thank you, Elena. New right now this morning, the book drop at Beale Library is being treated for bed bugs. 23 ABC just spoke with Mark Lewis, the business manager for the Kern County Library System. He said they were made aware of bed bugs in the book return outside Beale Library on Wednesday. Pest control was called to treat the bed bugs. Lewis says no bugs were found inside the library. It will soon be inspected, though.
Coming up next, vegetables that are out of this world, quite literally. A look from NASA's Space Garden when we come back. Welcome back. Check out these pastry chefs in Chicago who are putting together a 1,000-pound plain and chocolate cheesecake. It's time to celebrate the 39th birthday of Eli's Cheesecake and the taste of Chicago. The crew is putting together baseball-sized balls of cherries on the 6-foot-high dessert. You'll have to wait for a bite, though, because it won't be cut until Saturday at the Taste of Chicago event, where it will be served for free. By the way, ingredients included 450 pounds of cream cheese, 70 pounds of sugar, oh my gosh, and 25 pounds of graham crackers. Yum.
Wow. You might have thought it was impossible, but NASA has found a way to do it. They're growing plants in space. That's right. NASA has a garden that includes lettuce, cabbage, kale, all to keep astronauts healthy, and some pretty decorative plants as well. Rather than sunlight, space plants are given nutrients and exposed to LEDs to grow. According to NASA, the plants are harvested after about a month. Then they're analyzed and taste tested. No word on how good they are or if they're, not so good.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to get them to eat.
Probably.
Those veggies. Still to come, we'll have one final look at your forecast.
80 here in Bakersfield, that's really nice. We're all warming up today, but it is seasonal. I'm trying to rush because I don't want to talk about that 107. It's going to be a long heat wave, you guys. At least 5 days, if not about a week of 100s coming our way.
107. All right, stay inside.
That's going to do it for us here this morning.
Have a great day.